Good day everyone. Welcome to Teacher Julie channel. Hello everyone. We have our new lesson in MAPEH Physical Education, which is all about Introduction to Individual Sports, which is running. This will be the first quarter topic and weeks 3 to 8. This topic is milk-based. For the most essential learning competencies, after going through this lesson, you are expected to: first is to describe the nature and background of the sport. The second one is to execute the skills involved in sports. And the last one is to monitor periodically one's progress towards fitness goals. The following are the background of athletics. Track and field athletics, commonly known as athletics or track and field, is a collection of sports events that involve running, throwing, and jumping. The name athletics is derived from the Greek word atlos, meaning contest. Dating back to the ancient Greeks, athletics was the only competition to be held in the first Olympic Games, which took place in Athens in 776 BC. At that time, the single athletic event was known as the stade. It is a foot race which covered the length of the Athenian Olympic Stadium. In 1896, the first modern Olympic Games was staged. Although initially of limited appeal, the Olympic captured the imagination of athletes and grew steadily, making tracking and field an international sport for the first time. In 1913, the International Amateur Athletic Federation was formed by the representatives from 16 countries. The IAAF was charged with establishing standard rules for the sport, approving world records, and ensuring that the amateur code was adhered to. It continues to carry out these duties today. Track events often involve a field or a running track of varying measurements. These events are typically held in the 400-meter track. This includes sprints, middle distance events, long distance events, hurdles, relays, road running, and race walking. Short distance or sprints. So sprint is a short running race. So in a track and field competition, there are generally three different sprint distances: the 100 meter, 200 meter, and the 400 meter. The middle distance races are 800 meter, 1,500 meter, and 3,000 meter. These races require different skills and tactics to win. They rely more on endurance and pacing than just pure speed. Also, the runners don't stay in a single lane for the entire race. They start out in staggered lanes to make the distance the same for each runner. But the race soon becomes open with no lanes and the runners must pass around each other to gain the lead. The next one is the long distance. So there are three main long distance races: the 3,000 meters, 5,000 meters, and 10,000 meters races. These races are similar to the middle distance races, but the emphasis is even more on correct pacing and endurance. The next one is the hurdles. A hurdles race is one in which obstacles are placed at intervals along the track that the runners must jump over on their way to finish the line. Typical hurdle cases are the 1,000 meter and 400 meter for women, and 110 meters and 400 meters for men. Timing, footwork, and technique are the key in winning hurdles events. Of course, you still need to be fast, but jumping the hurdles in stride without much slowing down is how to win in the hurdles. Another one is the relay races. Relay races are where teams of runners compete against each other. So there are typically 4 runners and 4 legs to the race. So the first runner starts with the baton and runs the first leg, handing off to the second runner. The handoff must typically takes place within a given area of the track. The second then hands off to the third and the third to the fourth. So the fourth runner runs the final or anchor leg to the finish line. Common relay races are the 4 by 100 meters and the 4 by 400 meters. The following are the facilities and equipment used in athletics. Participating and performing well in running events requires some key skills to make it well in every event. Mastering these skills will not waste any movement, will use essential muscles, use optimal force, and relax the muscles that will not be involved in your movement. The following are the running skills. The first one is the body position. So the head, trunk, and pelvis should be positioned along a vertical line which is perpendicular to the ground. This helps to ensure that the pelvis is in the most efficient position. It should be obvious that the erect position better enables you to lift your knees, which in turns will increase stride length. Your head should be up with eyes focused to 20 to 30 yards ahead. Runners who have a tendency to look at the ground a short distance in front of their feet usually have short, choppy stride as a result. Another running skills is the arm and shoulder carriage. So it is necessary to have an arm and shoulder movement during running so that the thrust produced by the driving of the legs is more easily absorbed. Your shoulder must move in coordination with the arms. So it is advisable for you to keep the hands, arms, and shoulders as relaxed as possible. For tense muscles does not only require a greater oxygen consumption but also prone to cramps. Most runners cup the hands or maintain a light pressure between the thumb and finger on each other. So this tends to prevent the arms and shoulder from tensing. The position of the arms should probably approach a right angle during the forward movement, but the exact position is not critical. However, you must not carry your arms excessively high, for this can be very fatiguing. During the forward swing, your arms should not cross the imaginary midline which divides the body. Runners who do this cross body action cause the trunk to rotate unnecessarily. Another running skills is the action of the legs. So there are 2 parts of leg action. These are the recovery phase and the driving phase. So in the recovery phase, the rear foot leaves the ground, and in the driving phase, the lead foot touches the ground. So running speed is the combination of the stride length and the frequency of the stride. So stride length and body lean will increase as one increases speed. Another running skills is the foot action. So a male runner has a landing touch with the heel bowl action, which is where the heel hits the ground first. The weight is then transferred to the ball of the foot in the rocking chair fashion. So among female runners, the heel ball and the ball heel ball is about the same. In the ball heel ball, the runner initially settles on the ball of the foot, then momentarily transfers the body's weight to the heel, and then rolls forward again to the ball for the driving phase. The heel ball landing staff is suited to the more efficient over long distances because there is less strain put on the muscles of the calf. So master the sprint start. You should starting the sprint race is all about explosion of speed and power. So you do need to keep it under control. And being relaxed helps your body run efficiently and quickly at any distance. And try to breathe gently and await the starter's commands. For the on your mark position, crouch on one knee and form a high bridge with your fingers just behind the lane. Your hands should be placed slightly wider than your shoulder width. So if you feel cramp, you are probably positioned too close to the start line. So don't get distracted by anything or anybody. So keeping your eyes focused on the ground ahead of you will help your balance, focus, and relaxation. For the set position, so raise your hips to the level just above your shoulders. So your head should not be dropped towards the ground, but don't creak your neck by trying to look up the track. So lean your body as far as forward as you can and aim to begin running without stumbling. So wait for the starting signal. For the go position, so when the gun goes off, breathe out hard and pump those arms and legs. So try not to travel too far with each stride to start with. So thrust your elbow as high as possible with each backward swing and drive your legs with a high knee action. Keeping your body low in your opening strides will thrust you forward. Physical activity has benefits for the human body, but along with this, it also carries with it some rest. So the most common of these rest are burnout and musculoskeletal injury. So depending on this activity, injury may be present. To minimize the rest of activity-related injuries, so here are some precautions and safety tips that you may follow. So wear comfortable clothing and well-padded shoes that will protect the heels and arches of the feet. Another one is put on appropriate gear for the activity such as knee pad and elbow pads. Always do warm-up exercises before any physical activity and cool down afterwards to lower the rest of strains and sprains. Another one is to take some break during the activity. Do not exercise with an empty stomach, so eat something light to give you some stamina, but do not exercise immediately after a full meal. Another one is to replenish fluids before, during, and after physical activity. Also, be aware of the weather and environmental conditions, so avoid doing outdoor vigorous activities in hot or humid weather. And the last one is you need to listen to your body, so do not or don't do physical activity when you don't feel well.